you are if you're here. Good to see everybody here. I am so thrilled to be back doing this. I have to be quick, and we're going to get started here. We've got some wonderful musicians. You know that.
20 seconds to air.
We got 20 seconds to air. So great to be with you. Thank you for joining us, and we'll get started in moments here.
Can I get you on your tee?
Sure.
Keep in mind, try to stay on that tee as much as you can.
Yep. Good afternoon. Welcome to Zoomer Hall, and for many of us here in 2022, welcome back to Zoomer Hall. We're very glad to be here. Today we have what's going to be a delightful and thoughtful performance as part of our Zoomer Hall concert series. My name is Mark Wigmore, host of The Oasis here on the new Classical FM, which can be heard between 3 and 7 p.m. on weekdays. And very special thanks to Daniel Bukowski and the Classical Jukebox team for accommodating us here for this very special concert this afternoon. Today, just a treat, a concert to celebrate a new album from Lara Deutsch and Phil Chu. Nightlight is the name of the record. We're not in night, but I think it's going to be beautiful. And Lara performing on flute this afternoon, Phil, our pianist. The duo have been performing together for nearly 15 years, and Nightlight is their latest with Leaf Music. We'll meet these talents in just a few moments, but right now, for this very special concert, Lara Deutsch, Phil Chu, live at Zoomer Hall here on the new Classical FM. The music of Nightlight, the new album from Lara Deutsch and Phil Chu, and you're with the new Classical FM, our Zoomer Hall concert series. My name is Mark Wigmore. Great to be with you. We just heard Takashi Yoshimatsu's Digital Bird Suite for flute and piano, the Japanese composer's first movement. More from that suite in just a couple of moments. But first, we say welcome to Lara and Phil. Great to be with you both.
Thank you for having us.
So happy to be here.
We have a lot to get to. I thought we'd get to know you both a little. And Lara, we'll start with you. You perform on a 14-karat gold Haynes flute, generously loaned by Canamex Incorporated out of Drummondville, Quebec. That's a nice flute.
I'm very lucky. Yes, incredibly grateful. Actually, they offered me the flute on my birthday in 2020, which was the first day of the pandemic. So kind of the worst day ever, but also the most amazing day ever. And it's, as you can all see, incredibly beautiful.
I like that it goes
instrument
with your outfit, which is lovely.
I mean,
It's all planned, Mark.
And I also noted that I mentioned gold-plated, but you corrected me on that.
it is indeed solid gold. So
That's unbelievable.
I
My
am
goodness.
terrified carrying it around with me anywhere. I take very good care of it.
I mean, this is a big question, but I mean, as somebody who spent some time in small orchestras and chamber music, younger in my life, why flute? What was it about this instrument that spoke to you?
I don't know. I think it's because, you know, it's almost like the voice in some way because you're using your own area of this very personal connection with your instrument. And I feel like I can communicate really well through it. And to be honest, when I was a kid, my cousins who were girls played it. And I was like, Mom, I want to play too. And that's really the true story.
Though, so profound because it is your voice, but also, you know,
Yeah.
when a couple family members
Truly.
are
Yes.
involved. I want to mention your career has just been wonderful to watch. A major prize winner over the last couple years, chamber music, performances with the Vancouver Symphony Orchestra, the TSO, the Montreal Symphony Orchestra, the National Arts Center Orchestra, youth orchestras. So the last decade has been, I feel, very good to you on the concert stage.
Yeah, I'm very lucky that I feel like I've been in the right place at the right time for a lot of things. And I love being a musician because I get to connect with people. So it's truly a privilege every day to get to do that.
But it's lovely to be in a duet format as well.
Especially with this guy.
Yeah. And we are going to be speaking with Phil a little more. But I want to mention, too, BBC Music Magazine named you a rising star not too long ago. Same publication that has names like Stephen Huff, Lisa Davidson, Angela Hewitt, Andrew Lloyd Webber on the cover. So nicely done.
Thank you very much.
We want to hear a little more. Just tell us very quickly how you and Phil came together in 2008.
Well, I was doing my undergrad. I was a baby. And you have to have a collaborative pianist. And I think I just got matched with you or something. Or my teacher loved him and said he was amazing. That's probably what happened, right?
Okay, maybe, I don't know.
Okay, baby.
But something worked because here we are.
Yes, we both love
these years
music. We
later.
both love food. We talk about food a lot. It's a big part of our relationship.
get
We
it.
cook together a lot.
That's glue. I understand that.
Yeah, actually.
Let's hear another piece from Takashi Yoshimatsu's Digital Bird Suite for flute and piano. The album is Nightlight on Leaf Music. Lara Deutsch, Phil Chu, live at Zoomer Hall, here on the new Classical FM. You're spending an hour with Laura Deutsch and Phil Chu live at Zoomer Hall here on the new Classical FM, and we just heard our second piece from the new album, Nightlight, Takashi Yoshimatsu's Digital Bird Suite for flute and piano, Bird in the Twilight. Very beautiful, and you can find it for download and streaming at leaf-music.ca for all that information. My name is Mark Wigmore. Stay with us. When we return, we'll meet Phil Chu and learn more about this new album, how it came together. You're with the new Classical FM.
You've got to have a question. You look like you have a question. Oh, hold on.
Yes.
Hold on. James,
She's very enthusiastic. I love it.
hold on. Let me know when you get your focus. I'll hold it.
Oh. I'm just wondering, Laura, is it any different playing a solid gold flute? I mean, does it have different action or different?
Truthfully, I don't know how much difference the metal makes, but I think it's that when you buy the gold flute, it's the flute they've spent the most time handcrafting. So it is better, but more often than not, it's actually the cut of the head joint, like where the way the tone hole is cut, that makes the flute feel different. So this one is just a very masterfully handcrafted, incredibly gorgeous instrument. So I love it.
Must be heavier.
A little bit, but not significantly.
Okay.
Thanks for your question.
Anyone else? Oh, this way. We have one more. We're just under 90 seconds. Hold on.
I just wondered,
Are you ready?
when you both started music and what your journey was like.
Yeah, of course. So I started piano when I was 6, and I've been playing now for 30. Well, you can all calculate, but I've been playing for 31 years now of piano playing.
I started actually piano when I was 3 because I had brothers who played piano. And then I got into the flute because of those cousins I mentioned when I was 6. And then, I don't know, the rest is just kind of history. Time flies really quickly.
I want to stress that I was pretty bad for the first 15 years of it, just in case there was any confusion.
Yeah, I started feeling like I knew what I was doing maybe, I don't know,
And
5,
I'm
6
learning
years
now.
ago.
I'm doing better.
I'm sure that's not true.
40 seconds to air. 40 seconds.
Was there a pop artist you were?
Was listen to pop music.
Right.
Oh, yeah. And I grew up also with my dad playing guitar, so he sang a lot of Eagles, Beatles, Bee Gees. Oh, yeah. I grew up with all that.
So this is the 2 songs back to back. So fire up the applause, smile, and keep going.
Thanks, Darren. Thank you.
Audience, you guys are great. On 5, please applaud when I am counting. When I'm not, as soon as the song ends, yay! Yay, there's also food there. 15 seconds.
You want them to clap between movements?
Yeah, are they movements or are they?
No, technically 2 movements, so we could just play the 2 back to back.
Okay, when the first song ends and it goes quiet, don't applaud. 15 seconds. If I applaud, don't follow me. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, and 5.
Good afternoon. Great to be with you. We're live from Zoomer Hall in downtown Toronto. My name is Mark Wigmore, host of The Oasis here on the new Classical FM. This afternoon, we're enjoying the new album, Nightlight, from flautist Laura Deutsch and pianist Phil Chu. It's out on Leaf Music and available for download and streaming. The album features a wide range of works, including pieces from Takashi Yoshimatsu, which we just heard a little earlier, Franz Schubert, and the world premiere by Frederic Lacroix. Right now, though, we'll hear 2 pieces from composer Jocelyn Morlock, and I Conversed with You in a Dream. From Nightlight, this is Laura Deutsch and Phil Chu. I conversed with you in a dream, the third movement, A Delicate Fire, and we heard the second movement to start that particular set, the music of composer Jocelyn Morlock, and you heard it here on the new Classical FM, and we're live in Zoomer Hall, which is thrilling this afternoon in Toronto's West End, the Zoomerplex in Liberty Village. With us, two wonderful performers, Laura Deutsch and Phil Chu. The new album is Nightlight. Laura, Phil, great to be with you once again. Thank you for joining us. A conversation in a dream. I like that because it really felt that's where we were, that it really evoked a mood.
Laura loves that. I like to call it a drug-fueled, trippy dream. Not that, Mom, Dad, I would know anything
You
about
wouldn't
that.
know.
It's
That's
just,
fine, I
yeah,
understand.
that's what I would imagine it would be like.
So a nice choice, and I think that fits with the repertoire you've chosen here. 15 years together, or nearly thereabouts. You record this, I assume, during the pandemic. The inspiration are dreams and the journeys we take. Tell us what you wanted to do with the repertoire that you chose here, and how you wanted the musical journey to sound on the record.
Well, I think it was important for Laura and I that we recorded music that hadn't already been recorded a million times. Sure. There's a lot of flute repertoire, beautiful flute repertoire out there has already so many great recordings out there. And so for both Laura and I, it was important that we record Canadian content because we think it's such an important part. It's such a gift to be able to be a Canadian musician and have such great composers here. So having Fred, a longtime collaborator actually of Lars as well, he's a phenomenal pianist based in Ottawa. He wrote this piece especially for us, Jocelyn's piece, so beautiful. I think really was formed also around that digital bird suite, the Yoshimatsu.
Yeah, and I mean, Jocelyn's also a friend. She's from Vancouver, actually, so I had a chance to meet her when I was in the Vancouver Symphony, and I also recorded her other piece on my first album. And sort of that piece and the Yoshimatsu are the ones that the building blocks, I guess, of the program, and they're both so inspired kind of by these otherworldly images, and we wanted to keep that theme sort of running throughout the album.
And not all the dreams we think of Nightlight, it's not all dreams in first gear either. It does ramp up a little bit.
Yeah, we were trying to find the right title that would give the right sense of what was going on, because you're totally right. At the end of the day, the album starts with the Yoshimatsu,
yeah,
which the very first piece that we all heard, and you're right, it sort of kicks off in Nitro in the first few notes.
I love it, and it is a journey. I'll note the album cover too, a wonderful bucolic farm country scene, both of you taking in the landscape. What looks to be a very expensive vintage car as you ride. I think it's a convertible Fiat. Is it a convertible Fiat?
It is a 1970s Fiat Spider, belongs to my childhood best friend's dad. It's not ours. He made us look way cooler than we actually are. But we borrowed it.
You do look very cool.
Thank you.
And it's
That was
very
the goal.
dreamy. It must be so satisfying to put a spotlight on these composers, but also know that you sort of had something specific in mind for your listener as well.
Yeah, I mean, they're both such wonderful people, are living Canadian composers, and we're just, it's truly, we're lucky to get to play their music. So, and also to pair it with something, we also have a Schubert piece on our album, to pair it with something that's so old and kind of have an organic dream thread that weaves between it, I think is what we were excited about.
We're going to hear your world premiere of Night from Frederic Lacroix, and part of Nightlight, flautist Laura Deutsch and pianist Phil Chu. We're live at Zoomer Hall here at the new Classical FM. This is Night. The piece Night, we heard the second movement Trees and music of composer Frederic Lacroix. World premiere from musicians Laura Deutsch and Phil Chu. We're celebrating the release of the new album Nightlight here on a Thursday afternoon. Thank you for joining us, both at home, at work, in the car, but also here in the studio and a wonderful audience here this afternoon. We'll meet Phil Chu next, and we'll take a trek a little further afield with the music of Carl Reinecke. Special live performance here at the new Classical FM. More in moments from Zoomer Hall.
Okay, we are in our second commercial break. Hi, Mom again. Yay. So we have a couple of questions. We have time for a couple of questions. And anybody have a question? Okay, hold on. 4 minutes to air. 4 minutes. Give me 1 second. Let me know when you're ready.
How do you deal with the nerve situation before a performance? Do you have them? And if so, how do you deal with them?
I'll jump in on that first. We probably have different answers. I actually, back in 2014, ahead of a big competition, I started working with an Olympic mental coach. And I realized, when you think about an Olympic sprinter, they train their whole lives for a 10-second race. And that comes down to whether you can do what you want to do in the moment, and that's all mental. And I realized we do the same thing with music. Often we have auditions where we have, a minute to prove ourselves. So I started working with him, and that was a complete and total game changer to have developed those skills and, pre-performance routines and the language that you use to talk to yourself and like breathing patterns that can help. Phil, what about you?
I do two things. I breathe sort of consciously. I make sure to just breathe slowly, and I scroll through cat videos on Instagram.
To each his own,
You think I'm joking, but that's very real. Kittens specifically.
Yeah, I can confirm.
We have another one. Hang on. Let me know when you're ready.
How many hours do you all practice together before you perfect and perform?
You can take that one.
No. You go ahead.
I think it's kind of a buildup over a lot of years. Like if we have, when we were recording the album, we had done pretty much all the repertoire for other things. So we maybe did, 5-6 hours of rehearsal before the recording session, but it's kind of that buildup. And once you get to know somebody, like Phil can pretty much read my mind in terms of what I'm thinking musically, which is lucky for me because I'm not as good at following as he is. But I don't know, you just kind of develop your own language with each other, I guess.
Yeah, we're fortunate that we've played together for so long. And so it's more about developing that kind of connection, that sort of synergy with someone, right? If you just start to understand not just habits, but also the musical kind of personality of somebody, then no matter what kind of music you approach, it should come together relatively quickly if you've both done your own individual work. I hope that sort of answers it. It's hard to give a number specifically. Yeah. Thank you for your question.
2.5 minutes. 2.5 minutes. Scott, this way. Just hold on.
I know that face.
Hi there, sounds wonderful. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
I just saw it looked like you were filming something recently. I wonder if you could talk about that a bit.
Yeah, so we just did some music videos as part of a visual album to accompany Nightlight that will be released, I think, on Apple Music. And it was a selection of these same pieces from the album. And we worked with a really cool video team called Untold Storytelling.
Yeah, so we had the director from Leaf Music. We had the whole team at Leaf Music, Anna, Jeremy, and then we also had Untold Storytelling based out of Kingston, an awesome video crew. And yeah, we did just some selections out of these pieces. And actually, I just thought it might be interesting for the audience here also to know, because we're jumping through these pieces quite a lot. We can't really talk about them so much, Like Jocelyn's work, for example, the Delicate Fire, the Conversation in a Dream, that's based on poetry, old ancient poetry,
Yep.
Sappho's,
Fragments of Sappho's
poetry.
poetry, yeah.
And then so we got to Fred's piece, when we were practicing it, we met with Fred. I said, Fred, this trees movement, is this about like the ancient trees of these great forests in BC? He's like, no, actually, it's from camping when I had to go pee at night. And like things go bump and it's kind of scary,
He's like, I really
so just so
hate-
you know, it's not all sort of esoteric. It's very real. You can only get this stuff today.
We can all relate. We can all relate to that.
60 seconds? 60 seconds to air. 60 seconds. That's it.
I'll do that back.
Thank you for your questions.
Does it feel like the visual album is just part of the modern recording experience these days? Is that what, I mean, it's different than a video too, right? When we think of the classical videos.
How many seconds?
Yeah.
Yeah, we live in a very digital, especially post-pandemic, very digital world.
45 seconds. 45.
Everybody enjoying? It's lovely, right? It's beautiful. I know, it's so great. Yeah.
20. Your applause, guys, is amazing. Just saying. You're all welcome back here again. 18, yay! See? 10, right? 9. 8. Are you supposed to be down sitting? Oh, yeah, we'll be sitting. 5.
Please sit. Welcome back. We're so thrilled to be live here at Zoomer Hall this afternoon in downtown Toronto. My name is Mark Wigmore, host of The Oasis here on the new Classical FM, in a little early today. This afternoon, we've been enjoying the new album, Nightlight, from flautist Laura Deutsch and pianist Phil Chu. It's out on Leaf Music, available for download and streaming, and the album features a wide range of works, including what we've been hearing here this afternoon, Takashi Yoshimatsu, Jocelyn Morlock, wonderful, Franz Schubert, and a world premiere by Frederic Lacroix. Right now, though, we'll venture beyond the borders of Nightlight. Here's something special, bonus material here on a Thursday. And Laura, I know you have, well, we don't see a microphone there, so we'll get the whole story in just a moment. Laura Deutsch and Phil Chu in performance, Carl Reineke's Flute Sonata, Opus 167, and we'll start with the first and second movements here on the new Classical FM. Laura Deutsch, Phil Chu in performance with Carl Reineke's Flute Sonata, Opus 167. We heard the first and second movements and the spirited second movement here on the New Classical FM. My name is Mark Wigmore with you here on a Thursday afternoon. We are live and thrilled to be here in Zoomer Hall in downtown Toronto, celebrating the release of the album Nightlight out on Leaf Music. We met Laura a little earlier in the program. Phil Chu, welcome. Great to be with you.
Be here.
Big accolades. Where's home for you, by the way?
Home is Montreal.
Well, I figured as much, because big accolades in the Gazette, in Montreal, La Presse. You've performed with two violinists we talk about here all the time on the New Classical FM. I want to point them out. Violinists Andrew Wan, who just won a Juno Award last weekend, of course, concertmaster with the MSO, and Jonathan Crow, concertmaster with the TSO. Nice to work with those gentlemen.
Yeah, they're okay, but they're never as sparkly as
No,
Laura. So
that's true. They are
what
not.
can they really offer?
They
Let's
have
be
long
honest with you.
tails on their outfits.
Well,
but-
Jonathan looks more like a short jacket.
Yeah, that's true. He is a tall man. Do you prefer duets in chamber music to larger ensembles? Where does your heart lie?
My heart lies in making music with people in whatever format possible, but for sure I love duos because you can really just, I don't know, there isn't the opportunity for too many mixed signals. You can really just, between the two of you, have a really beautiful conversation.
Right, a wonderful level of communication.
There's no third wheel or fifth wheel.
That's
or,
right.
You know,
or 80th wheel.
Yeah,
for
exactly.
that matter. You have another project that you've been working on. Is that right? Another.
Which I don't want to be coy. Which of my projects, Mark? I mean, just had an album released last week. I guess maybe that's what you're referring
Yeah,
to.
of course, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks. You're so nice. Yeah. So called Fables. It's an album I'm very proud of, featuring music by Ravel, some of my favorite stuff, the Mother Goose Suite, but also what I'm really most proud of is a work that Barbara Siganak wrote. I commissioned her to write a piece for me, and it's what I think really is the center of the whole disc, Mini Dunska, which I really think is great.
All right, so look for Fables from Phil Chu.
Thanks,
We're going to get to the third and fourth movements of Reineke's Flute Sonata, and live here at Zoomer Hall. Laura, I'll quickly ask you to introduce this particular piece, why we're hearing it here this afternoon.
So it's a lot of fun. I call it a mythological Desperate Housewives. It's a ridiculous story, and he paints it so well. So Cole's Notes version. Undine is a water spirit, and the only way that she can gain an immortal soul is to marry a mortal man. So the first movement you heard, you hear all that water, she's in the ocean. And then the second movement, she washes up on shore as a baby, and this fisherman and his wife who've lost their child take her in as their own. And she's, very mischievous. That's why we hear all that kind
Plucky and
of light,
fresh.
plucky
Yes,
stuff.
sure.
Yeah, totally. And then middle, Phil shows up with that solo. It's a knight named Hildebrand. He's a little bit goofy sounding, but anyways, she's swept off her feet by him. They fall in love. Their love theme plays, and in the course of a storm, they get married because a priest also washed up on shore and was able to just marry them.
Convenient.
As one does. So
Yeah.
anyways, we go on to the third movement, and they're very much in love. And meanwhile, this lady named Berthalda has shown up. Spoiler alert, she's the actual daughter of the fisherman couple. They kind of hang out as friends, and in the middle of nowhere at this fountain, Undine's uncle comes out, and the water spirits say they want her back, and she, he better be careful. If he betrays her, he'll die. Very dramatic. So then, the final movement, the three of them go on a boat ride on the Danube, which I'm like, if your wife's family are water spirits and they don't like you, like maybe going for a boat ride is probably not the best idea, but they do anyway. Trouble ensues. Undine falls off overboard, and Hildebrand thinks she's died, so naturally he marries this other lady. And at his wedding, Undine comes and gives him the kiss of death. And then at the very end, we hear their love theme again, and it's supposed to be her as a water fountain encircling his grave and, representing their immortal love. So it's a ridiculous story, but it's absolutely a beautiful piece of music.
Very operatic, what's going on there.
very
Let's listen. Third and fourth movements from Reineke's Flute Sonata, live at Zoomer Hall here on the new Classical FM. It's Laura Deutsch and Phil Chu in performance.